Everyone tells you to keep up. Keep up with what's new, what's popular, what everyone else seems to be doing, wearing, thinking, buying, believing. Trends move fast, and the world treats them like survival tools. Miss one, and you're told you're falling behind. Follow them, and you're told you're relevant. But very few people ever stop to ask a dangerous question. What if constantly following trends is exactly what's keeping you stuck? What if the most powerful move you can make right now is not to catch up, but to step out? Trends feel safe because they offer belonging. When you follow a trend, you don't have to think deeply. You don't have to risk being wrong alone. You're protected by numbers. If everyone is doing it, it can't be a bad choice, right? But safety and growth rarely live in the same place. Trends reward conformity, not clarity. They reward speed, not depth. And over time, they slowly disconnect you from your own internal compass. Most people don't follow trends because they genuinely resonate with them. They follow trends because of fear. Fear of being left out. Fear of being judged. Fear of seeming outdated, irrelevant, invisible. Trends exploit that fear by promising instant identity. Wear this, think this way, say these words, and you belong. The problem is, borrowed identity never fits perfectly. It always costs you something. When you live by trends, your sense of self becomes reactive. You're always adjusting, recalibrating, reshaping to match what's currently rewarded. One year it's hustle at all costs. The next it's slow living. One moment confidence looks loud. The next it looks detached. If you build your life around trends, your values keep shifting, not because you've grown, but because the external signal changed. This constant adjustment creates a quiet exhaustion most people don't even recognize. You're always watching, always comparing, always measuring yourself against a moving target. And no matter how fast you run, the trend is already ahead of you. That's not accidental. Trends are designed to move faster than meaning. They need you slightly behind so you keep chasing. The most dangerous part is that trends train you to outsource your thinking. Instead of asking, does this align with who I am? You ask, is this what people are doing now? Over time, this weakens your ability to make independent decisions. You stop trusting your own judgment. You wait for validation before committing to anything. And slowly, without realizing it, you lose authority over your own life. Stopping this pattern doesn't require rebellion. It requires awareness. The moment you stop following trends, you notice something uncomfortable. Silence. No clear instructions, no obvious next move. That discomfort is where most people turn back. They mistake uncertainty for danger, but uncertainty is not the enemy. It's the doorway. Instead of following trends, do this instead. Slow down your inputs. Trends thrive on constant stimulation. Endless updates, endless opinions, endless urgency. When you reduce what you consume, you weaken the trend's grip on you. Fewer voices means you can finally hear your own. This isn't about isolation, it's about selectivity. When you're no longer flooded with what everyone else is doing, you begin to notice what actually matters to you. What holds your attention without being pushed? What ideas return even when no one is talking about them? These are signals of genuine interest, not social pressure. This is where real direction begins. Another shift happens when you stop following trends. You stop living on the surface of things. Trends are shallow by design. They simplify complex ideas into digestible, marketable pieces. When you step away, you regain the ability to go deep, to sit with questions longer, to explore ideas without needing them to be popular. Depth is dangerous in a trend-driven world because depth creates independence. Independent thinkers don't react quickly. They don't buy impulsively. They don't switch identities every season. They move slowly, intentionally, and that makes them hard to control. Doing this instead also means defining your own timeline. Trends demand immediacy. If you're not doing it now, you're late. But meaningful growth doesn't follow viral timelines. It follows internal readiness. When you stop comparing your pace to others, you remove enormous pressure. You stop rushing decisions that shape your life just to keep up appearances. People who stop following trends often notice something else. They start standing out without trying, not because they're loud, but because they're consistent. While others constantly reinvent themselves to match the moment, you remain grounded. That stability reads as confidence, even when you're unsure internally. Especially when you're unsure internally. There is a quiet power in being predictable to yourself and unpredictable to trends. It means your actions come from values, not waves. From reflection, not reaction. From intention, not imitation. This is where real confidence forms. Not the kind that needs attention, but the kind that doesn't collapse when attention moves elsewhere. Trend-based confidence is fragile. It depends on approval. Internal confidence is resilient. It exists whether or not it's seen. If this idea is landing for you, it's because part of you is already tired of chasing, tired of recalibrating, tired of feeling slightly behind no matter how much effort you put in. Staying connected to ideas like this isn't about rejecting the world. It's about reclaiming your place in it. And choosing to stay subscribed becomes less about consumption and more about alignment with a slower, deeper way of thinking. Doing this instead also means building skills instead of images. Trends focus on how things look. Skills focus on what you can do. Images fade quickly. Skills compound. When you invest in skills, you build something trends can't take away. Your ability to think clearly, communicate honestly, create value, stay emotionally regulated. These don't expire when the algorithm changes. People who stop following trends also learn to tolerate being misunderstood. When you're not aligned with what's popular, some people won't get you. They may assume you're behind, uninterested, or out of touch. Let them. Misunderstanding is often the price of independence, and it's far cheaper than the cost of constantly betraying yourself. There's also a shift in how you experience success. Trends promise fast wins, visibility, validation, short-term excitement. But they rarely offer fulfillment. When you stop chasing them, success becomes quieter, slower, more personal. You start measuring progress by internal markers instead of external applause. This doesn't mean you ignore what's happening in the world. It means you stop letting the world decide who you need to be. You can observe trends without obeying them. You can learn without copying. You can adapt without losing yourself. Another powerful change happens in your relationships. Trend following encourages performance. You show what's impressive, not what's true. When you step away, connections become more honest. You attract people who resonate with your values rather than your image. Fewer connections, deeper roots. Doing this instead also requires patience. When you're not following trends, results may take longer. There's no viral shortcut, no instant validation. But what you build lasts. It doesn't disappear when attention shifts. It grows quietly, steadily, often unnoticed until it's undeniable. If you're still listening, it's because this isn't just advice. It's relief. Relief from the constant pressure to keep up, to be current, to perform relevance. Staying subscribed to perspectives like this helps you resist the pull back into noise when it inevitably tries to reclaim your attention. There is also something deeply psychological at play. Trends hijack the human need for certainty. They offer ready-made answers, ready-made identities. When you stop following them, you confront uncertainty directly, and that builds mental strength. You become comfortable not knowing exactly where you fit yet. That comfort is rare, and it's powerful. Over time, you'll notice your decisions become cleaner, less reactive. You stop asking, "What will this look like?" and start asking, "Does this make sense for me?" That single shift changes careers, relationships, habits, and entire life trajectories. People who live this way often look calm in a world that feels frantic. They're not calmer because life is easier. They're calmer because they're not constantly pulled in 10 directions at once. Their energy is focused, their attention protected. This is not about rejecting modern life. It's about refusing to let it fragment you. Trends fragment attention. Depth integrates it. And integrated people are harder to manipulate, rush, or distract. As you continue forward, you'll still see trends come and go. Some will tempt you, some will irritate you, Some may even align with you briefly, but the difference is you'll choose consciously instead of reflexively. You'll participate selectively instead of compulsively. Staying connected to ideas like this reinforces that choice. Subscribing becomes less about keeping up and more about staying anchored while the world keeps moving. In the end, stopping the habit of following trends is not about rebellion. It's about self-respect. It's about deciding that your life is not a product to be constantly updated, but a direction to be lived. And when you do this instead, when you slow down, go deeper, build skills, and trust your internal compass, you stop chasing relevance and start creating meaning. And meaning, unlike trends, doesn't expire.